Hello, Lensmates, and welcome. Whether you're settling in for the night or maybe just need something to listen to on the move, let this story just wash over you. Today, we're going to dive into how a single, almost obsessive demand for an apology spirals into this full-blown war in the 2025 action thriller Jaat. Sorry, Bull. Say sorry. I mean, just two little words, right? But in the movie Jaat, this tiny request is the spark that lights an absolute bonfire, triggering an all-out war between an unstoppable hero and a villain who is just truly ruthless. Let's get into how this simple phrase ignites the entire thing. So here's how it all kicks off. We've got this mysterious passenger, right? He's on a train journey, stops for a quick bite to eat, and some local thugs just ruin his meal. All he wants is an apology. That's it. But that one simple demand, it sets off this insane chain reaction that leads him straight to the doorstep of the region's most feared crime boss. And that crime boss, wow, he's a character named Ranatunga, brought to terrifying life by Randeep Hooda. And listen, this guy isn't just your run-of-the-mill gangster. Oh no. He is the absolute king of a criminal empire built entirely on fear. And you can probably guess he does not take kindly to being challenged. So, where did this guy even come from? Well, Ranatunga wasn't born into this life. Back in 2009, he was just a laborer over in Sri Lanka. But he stumbles upon a literal treasure trove, gold left behind by the defeated Jaffna Tiger Force. And what does he do? He takes that gold, flees to India, bribes his way into getting citizenship, and then, piece by piece, builds this whole terrifying empire on a foundation of pure violence and corruption. And when I say reign of terror, I mean it. He rules over 40 villages with an iron fist. The local police, they're completely in his pocket. His brutality is just off the charts. He even imprisons and assaults female officers who are brave enough to stand up to him. And to send a message, get this, he sends a box of severed thumbs to the President of India. Yeah, that's the guy our hero is about to cross. So who could possibly stand up to a monster like that? Well, enter Brigadier Baldev Pratap Singh. He's an officer from the Jaat regiment, played by the one and only Sunny Deol, but everyone just calls him Jaat. He's not just a man, he's a force of nature, and he's on a direct collision course with Ranatunga's evil. It's that classic lone hero against a whole corrupt system. So you've got this incredible clash of titans, right? On one side, there's Ranatunga. He's this ex-terrorist commander, totally driven by greed and power, and his main weapon is fear. And on the other side, you have Jaat, a military man all about honor and justice, who relies on his legendary brute strength. You know, his 2.5 kilo ka hath, which literally means his 2.5 kilo hand. It's the perfect setup for an absolutely epic showdown. But you know, the drama wasn't just limited to the screen. After the film came out on April 10, 2025, its journey in the real world became just as interesting, with huge box office numbers and some pretty serious controversy. To even get this thing made, the producers put down a massive 100 crore rupees. I mean, that's a huge investment to bring this kind of big screen action to life. And it seems like that big bet paid off. The film ended up grossing over 119 crore rupees around the world. That's a solid hit, making it one of the highest-grossing Hindi films of the year. But that success, it wasn't exactly a smooth ride. First, it had a bit of a battle with the censor board. They had to make 23 changes to tone down some of the violence and even obscure images like the national emblem. But the bigger issue was a scene set inside a church. It depicted some violence and it sparked these widespread protests.
It got so serious that the filmmakers had to issue a public apology and pulled the scene from the movie entirely. So, even with all those hurdles, the creators were sending a clear message. This was just the beginning. The story of Jaat, well, it was far from over. And they weren't kidding. In what has to be a huge show of confidence, they didn't even wait. On April 17, 2025, just 1 week after the first film hit theaters, they officially announced Jaat 2. It was clear his mission was going to continue. And that leaves all of us with a really interesting question, doesn't it? After completely destroying Ranatunga's terrifying empire, his own personal Lanka, what could possibly be next for the unstoppable force that is the Jaat? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you for joining me and just listening, Lensmates.